Thank you, Presiding Officer. The SNP government previously told the public that it would cost £100 million to build the new HMP Glasgow. Yesterday, however, the SNP Justice Secretary dropped a bombshell on Scotland's taxpayers. She admitted that it would now cost £998,400,000. That's just shy of £1 billion. And I'd place a bet with John Swinney right now that that will only go even higher. So does a £1 billion Barlinnie really represent good value for Scotland's taxpayers?
First Minister.
Sir, it's essential that we replace HMP Barlinnie, and we have got numerous reports from His Majesty's Inspector of Prisons encouraging us to do so, and Parliament has obviously pressed us to undertake this project, and we recognise it has to be done. Now, of course, the full rigour of cost analysis has been applied to this project. The project is different to the original project that led to the estimate that Mr Findlay has set out today, and I can assure him that the Government will monitor and control the costs carefully as the project takes its course.
Russell Findlay.
I think the First Minister's undertaking is causing some anxiety with taxpayers, because it's them who are paying the price for this SNP incompetence, and also for their perverse priorities. Because instead of building a high-security prison to lock up rapists and murderers, John Swinney thinks he's building either a luxury resort or a nature reserve.
Let's hear Mr Findlay.
The Justice Secretary says it will be based around small communities living together and supporting each other. There will be an orchard of fruit trees. There will be beautiful landscape gardens, planting beds, polytunnels, amphitheatre-like steps. I'm not making this up, there will be wee boxes for owls and bats to live in, and special bricks for the birds. And the SNP expect hard-working Scottish taxpayers to pay for their nonsense. Surely we need some common sense by building a prison at minimum cost to taxpayers, not maximum benefit to prisoners.
First Minister.
I think the tone of Mr Findlay's question is absolutely reprehensible and despicable.
Thank you.
And if he wants to have a dividing line in politics on this type of stuff, then I'll happily be on the other side of the argument from Russell Findlay and all of the cohorts that he's courting in his question today. I want to make sure that there is a replacement prison so that those who are sentenced to prison can be held safely and securely, and that staff are safe and secure in undertaking their responsibilities. That is my duty as First Minister, and that is what the Government will concentrate on delivering.
Russell Findlay.
The cohort that I'm talking to are hard-working Scots. And it's taxpayers who want every single pound to be spent on the best possible schools and hospitals, not the best possible prisons. And this is baffling to people in the real world. They expect the Government to build functional prisons at a sensible price and to be kept safe from dangerous criminals, but they're getting neither from the SNP. Because of their failure to build prisons on time and within budget, the SNP will release thousands of criminals before they've done their time. Police Scotland officers and victims groups say this will result in more crime in Scotland's streets. £1 billion and more crime. Does that really sound like a good deal to John Swinney?
First Minister.
This project is different to the one that was originally discussed about a decade ago, because in the original proposition it was based on estimates of a 700-place prison, and this will in fact be a prison that will accommodate over 1,340 prisoners, so it is almost double the size of the prison. Now, when we've looked at the comparative costs, we've looked, and the Scottish Prison Service has done this, has looked at the recent report by the National Audit Office, which shows that cost per prison place has increased by up to 259% between the initial business case and the expected costs in England and Wales. The price per place has risen to between £610,000 and £840,000 in England and Wales. The price per place for His Majesty's Prison Glasgow sits in the middle of this range at £740,000. Now, Mr Findlay can say all the things that he wants, and he can play to all of the sentiments he's very visibly playing to. But as First Minister of Scotland, I will expect my ministers to take rational decisions to protect the public purse and to protect the public by ensuring that those who are sentenced to prison can be accommodated. And I will not play games with the type of rhetoric that Mr Findlay puts to Parliament today.
Yeah. Russell Findlay.
So he's protecting the public purse. The prison apparently is doubled in size, but it's 10 times the cost. That's SNP economics right there. They're squandering more on a 5-star prison than they spent in Scotland's flagship Queen Elizabeth University Hospital, and they're releasing thousands of prisoners early. But at the same time, they're building a prison with boxes for bats and bricks for birds. And this illustrates how detached the Holyrood bubble has become from the real world. And it's why so many people are disillusioned with politics. Exactly. This John Swinney government is neglecting what really matters to people. So as a matter of urgency, will he commit to cutting these outrageous costs, or will he just expect taxpayers to pipe down and pay up